Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show, your D2 SoCal Regional Champions, Santiago softball here on the show. We got head coach Chris Cisneros and a couple of his star players from the Sharks this season, Emily Delgado and Ashley Mejia. And first off, Coach, I want to start with you. Congratulations on that CIF SoCal Regional Championship. Was it a case of a talented team getting hot at the right time? Like, what would you credit this championship run to?
Oh, thank you so much for that. Absolutely, the players were phenomenal. I believed in them from day one, from when we started back in August doing early morning weightlifting. And even though we started off a little slow, I still told them that I believed in them and we have the talent. And I just kept pushing that narrative, and we just got hot at the right time. We did well in league, and once we got to the end of the league schedule, we pushed that momentum into the playoffs, and we just kept going.
You know, speaking of that league schedule, it's just survive the Big Eight, right? I mean, there's so many good teams in the Big Eight. Just survive the Big Eight, make the playoffs, and like obviously you guys are living proof of that. Just, you know, you can make a run and make something happen because you see so many great teams in league play. It almost, I guess, prepares you, right, for a playoff run, whether it's the Southern section or the SoCal Regional.
Absolutely. Facing teams like Norco and Roosevelt and Centennial, that really prepares us very well to get into the playoffs, and to be able to have that type of challenge during the league really sets up well into the playoffs.
All right, Coach, let me talk to some of your players as well. To your left on the screen right is Emily Delgado. And Emily, you were so good during the playoff run, in the circle, at the plate. And as a senior, does it get any better than this, going out with a championship and obviously playing a very important role for the Sharks team to get this championship?
Thank you. It's always been a very big dream of mine to, get this far, win a big title. High school growing up, it's been a dream to just be able to, I knew I was always going to go to Santiago, so my dream growing up was always to win a state title or a CIF championship with Santiago. It's just a really good feeling, and it's what I've always wanted, and there's just really no better feeling.
And how about in that championship game? I mean, being in the circle, you hit a home run. I mean, that's probably when you're a little girl, like in the backyard, like that's what you dream of, right? Those moments.
Yeah, it was really exciting, especially having my team being really excited for me too. Yeah, it was really amazing.
All right, and on screen left to Coach's right, Ashley Mejia, and Ashley providing a lot of power from the plate for the Sharks this season. And Ashley, I don't know if you caught it, but we in our Inland Sports Show we do have some highlights every now and again, and of course the interviews. But you had a big time home run. It was against Cajon. I want to say that was second round. Does that sound about right? What's it like? Ashley, when you step up to the plate and your team needs you, you're up in a big spot. Do you embrace those moments? Some would say they're pressure packed, but do you embrace those moments?
I definitely do, but I feel like if you just overthink it, I feel like you're not going to be as successful. Like my coaches from the BSC Bengals always tell me to be where your feet are, just be in the moment and don't think about it too much. For me, I step up there like it's another at bat. Like I practice this. On the field with my dad every day. I'm on the same field hitting, and it's like any other at bat. So I try to not make it bigger than me.
So, Coach, was it stressful during this playoff run, or was it fun? I mean, because obviously it's all the sports cliches: win or go home. One loss and you're done. I mean, but was it fun? Was it stressful? Was it for the seniors? You just wanted to see it keep going? What was it like?
Everything's fun, stressful. Emily, I started with Emily her freshman year, and now I got to grow with her all 4 years along with the other seniors. And I definitely wanted to make this year special any way I can for them. I wanted to send them off in the right way. I didn't know how or what I was going to do, but I knew I was going to do it something. And I knew we had the talent. I knew she had the potential and all the talent in the world to carry us in the circle. And once we got into the playoffs, I knew we can go far, and they just had to believe in that. And I just emphasized that, and just believe on your talent, and we can do this. Why not us? Is what I kept telling them. Why not us?
So, Emily, before pitching in a big game, do you have a pregame routine? Do you have a game day routine? Do you, I don't know, always eat a Subway sandwich and listen to Taylor Swift to get your mind right? I don't know what it is, but do you have something that you do every single time you step into the circle, like that same day or right before the game?
So superstition is really big for me. I do believe it's a big part of my success. Every game morning before game day, I get the same Starbucks order, and it goes back to doing the same hairdo, same wearing the same color bows, same warm ups. When I warm up for pitching, I pitch the same amount of pitches, and I pitch them in the exact same order every single time. It helps me feel a little more confident. But yeah, and on the mound, I just think to myself, never make it bigger than what it is. It usually that could be my downfall, is making things bigger than what they are. So
You just try to remember, hey, it's still softball, whether it's, some non-league game back in March or it's a CIF SoCal championship game. You're still, in the circle, throwing the softball, like it's the same deal. Well, now I'm curious, what's your Starbucks order? We all love coffee.
I actually don't get coffee from there. Get a strawberry refresher.
All right, very good. Coach, before I go back to Ashley, you guys had a great run in the Southern Section playoffs in D3. You got to the finals. And I know there was that weird gap in between the Southern Section playoffs and the SoCal Regional. How did you get the team dialed in and refocused to make another playoff run? I know the SoCal Regional, it only spans 1 week, so you got 3 games. If they feel like they're right on top of each other, how'd you get them dialed back in to make this run?
After the CIF loss, we were bummed, definitely bummed, because we had a great run, and to fall short of that, we were bummed. So I just needed some time off. I know how hard these ladies work with their travel teams all summer, and my thing was I don't want to burn them out. And going deep in the playoffs, I figured we need a little bit of time off, a little bit, a good 4 days. And then we just kept it light going into state, and knowing where we seated and knowing who we're going to play, we kicked it back in gear, just kept it loose, kept it fun. Every game was on the road, and these 2 ladies, they can not only can they could play, but they could sing. And how they sound on the bus, but awesome. You think it's a movie you're in Pitch Perfect movie or something, or the way. It's awesome how the chemistry in the bus, the singing, the laughing, the screaming. It's awesome. So that was just my thing. Just keep it loose, keep it fun, and if they stay that way on the field, everything's gonna play itself out.
Yeah, keep it loose, keep it fun, right? And you're gonna play some pretty good softball. So, Ashley, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Who's the best singer on the team? Who's the ringleader? You're on the bus. You guys are singing songs. Like, who's picking the songs? Who's leading the way?
I would say, there's 3 of us that are actually in choir. So no, we're not just on the softball field, we're also in choir. So I would say I'm the one who mostly breaks out and sings at random times. So I would say I'm always the one who's just singing, everyone's telling me to shut up, and I'm just I still sing, and I'm pretty loud. I feel like I'm one of the loudest ones.
Emily's yeah, she is.
Energy. That's just what I feed off of, just being loud. So I'd say it's probably me.
It's probably you. Well, Ashley, a junior, you got another season with the Sharks. Winning a SoCal Regional Championship and coming so close in the Southern Section, does that kind of get you excited about next year too? Hey, in fact, you guys might be D2 for the Southern Section playoffs. I'm not sure what next year will look like, but does it feel like as a junior, hey, let's go out there and get the Southern Section title and follow that up and go back-to-back with the SoCal Regional Championship? Does that get you excited for next year now?
It definitely does. It just keeps the momentum, and just we have a really good bond. This team is what we got to win, all of these things. So I feel like we already have chemistry, and I feel like that's a big thing about winning games. You need to trust your teammates. I know when Emily goes in the circle, especially the last game, I trusted her, and I trusted her skills, and I knew that she was gonna get us through that game. So I feel like having that trust already in this team is definitely gonna help us to do even more next year. So yeah, I definitely, yeah.
And Emily, what's next for you? I assume softball is still in your future, right?
Yes, after this, I'm going to be going to Southern Utah for softball.
Cedar City, right? Thunderbirds, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I've actually been there. Didn't spend a lot of time there, but I know exactly where that's at. And so that's Division One. So congratulations on that. All right, and Coach, finally, we'll wrap it up with you. I mean, do you finally get some downtime? That's a long softball season when you count the SoCal Regional.
It was long. I didn't realize how long it was. Like it's from the beginning, the first day of school, doing the early morning workouts and then practice every other day. So I don't burn them out during the travel, and then getting full blown in season. I felt the season just went by like so fast, and then we just kept going and going. I didn't realize that we were the only ones still playing, and now I'm like over. I'm like, what am I gonna do with my life now?
Hey, Coach, I did want to follow up with this too. One quick follow up question. I saw this on Twitter. I think maybe your AD or somebody tweeted this out that I think you had a house fire at the beginning of the season, and so how difficult was that? Just having your own personal tragedy and trying to pick up the pieces and still coach a softball team.
It was crazy for me. It was middle of the night that this happened, and I walked out of my house with my daughter with the clothes on my back. I lost everything. We lost it all, and with the support from the community, from Santiago, all the sports communities, the sports at Santiago, Norco Girls Softball, Colonel National Little League Baseball, where I umpire, Alvord Unified School District, they all came together and helped me with whatever I needed. And that was so surreal that I didn't know that, that many people cared about me to go out of their way to help me out for what we lost. And what I tell my players is every time I'm there, it's the best part of my day. I always tell them they were the best part of my day. Since I was there, since I started back in 2020 when Emily was a freshman, they're the best part of my day, and I can forget about anything that's going on in my life that's bad, good, or whatever that's going on outside the field. I can forget about it and be there in the moment and be with them, and that's why they're the best part of my day. And I went back to practice the next day, and they knew what happened, and I knew I had to be there because that's where I can get away from everything. And Emily stepped up big time for me, did a GoFundMe for me, and the football game players did a big thing for me, and it was just huge. Dr. Torres, Mr. Mitchell, Coach D, they all stepped up for me, and it was amazing how much love they provided me to make me feel more than just their coach, and it was just a phenomenal feeling. And to end the season with a state championship, it's just unbelievable. Some kind of movie that that I'm living in, and it's awesome. I'm living my dream, being a head coach for these awesome, talented players that I get to call my team.
Coach, that is a fantastic story and a very moving one to see the community rally, around you like that. And it is. It sounds like a movie. So one follow-up question to my follow-up question: what famous actor plays Coach Cisneros in the Santiago softball story?
Oh, I don't know.
The Rock, someone like that, maybe.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
The Rock. Ashley's like, no. Oh, Ashley, okay, you tell me, Ashley.
I have no idea, but I know it's not The Rock.
More Jack Black, maybe more like Jack Black or something. Well, guys, listen, congratulations on the season, and man, what a way to go out. On your screen right, that is Emily Delgado, senior pitcher, Ashley Mejia, outfielder on your left, and of course, Coach Cisneros there in the middle. Congratulations, guys, and excited to see what both of you guys do in the future as players. And Coach Cisneros, congrats, and you have to do it again next season.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
You got it. That is Santiago softball here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks for clicking on this Inland Sports video. If you're a local business or an organization and you'd like to promote here on the Inland Sports Show, just send us an email, inlandsportshow@gmail.com.